Who is this big guy?
This is Bentley.
That's a weird looking dog.
He throws down the garbage can, all the chairs in the dining room, and he humps them.
Bentley is a pot-bellied pig, and we're seeing more and more people get them as pets. What most people don't realize is that pigs, they reach sexual maturity right around 6 months of age. And when that happens, pigs are ready to P-A-R-T-Y. Party.
Okay, it's all about our pets today. Dr. Diarra Blue, Dr. Aubrey Ross, and Dr. Michael Lavigne from Animal Planet's The Vet Life are answering your pet questions. They are also with Sci-Fair Animal Hospital. We have a caller this morning. Lisa is on the phone line. Good morning, Lisa.
Good morning.
What's your question for our doctors?
Okay, I rescued 2 Maltese, females, 1819. They have been spayed, but their vaccination history is unclear. So I'm asking, what vaccinations will they need to be up to date?
Rabies is an obvious one, right?
Right. Rabies is required rabies is required by law. Good morning, by the way. You definitely want to make sure that they have their rabies vaccine. The Stipper parvo vaccine is an annual one that we do. We do offer a 3-year for that one. It's highly recommended. Bordetella. Most people these days are taking their animals out and about, to groomers, to dog parks, interacting with other animals. So the Bordetella vaccine prevents them from having kennel cough. And now we're seeing an influx of the flu virus.
Oh, really?
Influenza. So just like we get K9 flu shot, we get K9 flu shot.
I hope you don't.
Just like we get, the influenza vaccine, we recommend it for our dogs. So K9 influenza is becoming something that's just increasing, more endemic.
Now, can they transfer their influenza to us?
No.
So, yeah, not really.
Not really.
Very, very rare.
Okay.
There have been some special cases, but that's few far in between.
Yeah.
So K9 influenza is going to be very important, and then the lepto vaccine as well. Leptospira is a bacteria that's kind of more common in Texas, so you want to be careful with that.
All right, we have Verna on the line. Good morning, Verna.
Yes.
Hi, Verna. What's your question?
I have a baby calf that was born about 4 months ago, and he's kind of like walking on his little hind leg, on his hoofs, and I heard it like was a popping noise coming from it. Is that he has arthritis, or is that a birth defect?
Oh, that's the farm animal expert.
Right.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, I'm not able to really know exactly what you're talking about. You can have some septic arthritis for sure. That's something where they get an injury to the joint or a bacteria that'll kind of swarm into that area of the joint and it'll become inflamed. So if you're seeing that, I would definitely, have your veterinarian come out and check it out. See if it's swollen, see if it's warm to the touch, see if it's larger than the other side. If there also could be a birth defect, so that I would have to see for sure to really know.
Yeah, and with farm animals, it's not like you just load them up and take them in, like you throw them in the back trunk, right? But sometimes it requires a vet going out to see them, right?
We would do house calls, farm calls, or if they're small enough, sometimes people do bring them into the office.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
calf, he might get
Camilla has a question. Good morning.
Good morning. What is the average of years that dogs get to live?
Average lifespan of a dog.
average.
And is that expanding now that we know more about what kind of food to give them, and of course, medical technology today?
We're definitely seeing dogs live a lot longer nowadays, and that's why we do tend to see an increase in cancer and stuff like that.
Oh.
Back in the day, it wasn't as common because dogs a lot of times didn't live that long.
Yeah.
But average is still about 11 to 12 is kind of median age. Smaller dogs can sometimes live a lot longer. Large breeds tend to sometimes live a little shorter.
Yeah. Does it matter what we're feeding them?
That makes a big difference.
Yeah.
We know scientifically that grain-free foods can sometimes cause animals to have heart disease, brain and eye disease, but more so of heart disease.
And by the same token, too much protein can cause problems too.
Absolutely. Too much protein can cause damage to the kidneys.
Yeah.
You gotta
Because we
remember
keep thinking that they're meat eaters. They're meat
yeah,
eaters,
dogs
right?
aren't. They're omnivores.
Yeah.
Cats are meat eaters. Those are just carnivores. They like meat. Dogs, they eat some veggies here and there.
Yeah.
Grain is not bad for dogs that aren't allergic to grain or have issues with grain.
Yeah.
It's only bad for dogs that have allergies or issues with grain.
I met a man who has a pet store. He said, if we can't eat it, we don't buy it to sell. You're like, whatever. Okay, all right. Akira, good morning. What's your question for our doctors?
If you get a dog or a cat from a shelter and they're already born, how old are they?
How can you tell how old they are? Yeah.
So it is a chart out there that we use to kind of help gauge the age of a pet if you don't know when they were born. You look at their teeth. You look at the development of what's called baby teeth, deciduous teeth. They start coming in at certain ages. At 8 to 9 months, all the baby teeth usually falls out, and that's when adult teeth starts to form. So a year to 2 years, you start seeing wear and tartar on the teeth. So it's kind of like an educated guess by looking at the chart and kind of knowing the pattern and wear on the teeth.
All right.
You look at the teeth.
Yeah. Okay. Microchipping is one of those things. If you get an animal from the shelter, oftentimes they will go ahead and microchip it. It's already spayed, neutered, the whole bit. What does microchipping do? Because I think people sometimes get confused exactly what that is. They're like, well, is it a beacon where I can find it on my iPhone? It's like, not exactly, but.
Yeah, that's a common misconception. People think maybe it's got some kind of GPS tracking device or something like that. It's really only, it gives an ID number. And so if somebody brings in a lost or a lost pet or a found pet, first thing that the shelter or the hospital, wherever they take them, is going to do is scan them for a microchip. And if they detect a microchip, then we can call the microchip company and see if that microchip has been registered. That's a big problem that we used to see. You have to register the microchip. Right. So at Cypher Animal Hospital, we go ahead and register the chip for you when you get the chip implanted.
Yeah, that way it has the information, you can reconnect.
We had way too many times where people go home, forget to register. Now we get a lost pet, comes in, has a microchip, and there's no information.
And that's hard because you know it belongs to somebody. Right. And you know that somebody intended to maybe do something right. But you can't connect them. All right, Stephanie is from Levy Park, and she's here with a microchipping event that's happening this weekend. Tell us about that event.
We are so excited. This weekend between noon and 6, our really good friends at Warriors Educate About Rescue are offering free microchipping services. So if your dog has not been microchipped, they will do that for you. If you're not sure if your dog has been microchipped, they will read it and they will update the information for you as well. So it's an amazing service and one of the free events that we offer at Levy Park.
Yeah, and one of those things where it can help reduce that homeless population of pets, because a lot of times pets are homeless because they're just lost.
100%, and we're super passionate. We have a ton of pets that come and visit us at the park, and our friends at Ware are also doing this because it's a part of their Never Lost Pet project to make sure that pets are never lost, they're always returned home, and always safe.
Yeah, okay, you have, there we go. We pull out that shot there. And who is that you have with you?
This is Penelope. She is one of our frequent park attendees. She comes and visits us often, and she's excited for the microchipping event. We're going to get her chipped, and she's also excited for the live music. She's a big fan of our band Fuzzy Side Up, and she's also really excited for the food trucks. Imagine that.
Yes,
she wants the food trucks.
All right. Penelope, meet Tina. Tina, that's Penelope.